Shalawam all, it's your boy brother Kwame, and excuse my voice, but lately I have been battling the flu, and that is the reason why it's taking me a little longer to upload these messages. So I ask you all to just bear with me. I'm gonna try not to waste much time. I'm gonna try to stick to the point. So let me go ahead and just go ahead and deal with it. Okay, now during the time of the Romans, they had a celebration during the same time of the year, December, called the Saturnalia, when they'll walk around and give each other gifts, sing songs, and have a bunch of orgies, a freak fest. It started out with 2 days, from December 17th to December 19th. Then it was extended to a week. So the Romans, they were already celebrating Christmas before they knew anything about a Christ. The difference is they were celebrating and worshiping the Babylonian god Nimrod, reincarnated as Tammuz. They changed the name to Saturn. It's the same god, deified as the sun god. And they were worshiping him at that time, before they had heard anything about a Christ. And if you know anything about history, Rome is the one who branched off and gave everyone their religion. Rome, that's where your Christian church comes from. That's where your Catholicism comes from. The Protestants, the Baptists, all of those stem from pagan Rome. And that's where you get your Christmas from. They were celebrating Christmas before they heard anything about a Christ. Now join me to the book of the two Babylons, page 86. Join me to the book of the two Babylons, page 86. And it says, and it may fairly be presumed that in order to conciliate the heathen and to swell the number of the nominal adherents of Christianity, the same festival was adopted by the Roman Church, giving it only the name of Christ. This tendency on the part of Christians to meet paganism halfway was very early developed. Okay, during the time of the Roman Emperor Constantine, Christianity had already been hijacked, so Constantine had a diabolical plan to gain converts and to have all people to come together under Christianity. But a lot of the pagans in Rome didn't want to come under the guidelines of Christianity. So Constantine divides the plan and say, well, you know what? Don't worry about it. You like that Saturnalia? You don't have to give that up. We're going to incorporate that together with Christianity, and we're going to call it Christmas. So therefore, we can have the best of both worlds. We can have you still worship the god of Saturn, but all we're going to do is put the face of Christ over it. And when the pagans heard that, they were like, we're on board then. We can still continue to do Saturnalia. Then we have no problem joining forces with the Christians. Because Saturnalia, the way Christmas is celebrated today, that's how large of a scale Saturnalia was. It was the most prominent festival of the Romans back then. See, people, that's an ancient Babylonian custom, commemorating and worshiping the birth of Nimrod, Satan himself. People think these customs just popped up out of thin air, when all in actuality, they've been around since the beginning of time. And they have overflowed and found their way and crawled their way all the way down into modern day society. It's the same custom, it's just being repeated and another name masked over it. Back then it was Babylon, today it's masked with Christ. It's the same exact custom, same ritual, same custom, and same worship, same exact God. Now, let me deal with the Christmas tree, another paganistic custom and ritual that stems all the way back to ancient Babylon. It's the same exact God that worked his way all the way up through and made his way all the way up to Christianity. It's the same exact deity. And the thing is, most Christians don't even know that the Christmas tree is right in the Bible. Any Christian that so-called has read the Bible, they should know that the Christmas tree is in the Bible and God condemns us dealing with a Christmas tree. And like I said, the reason you don't know that it's in the Bible because you never really read the Bible. It's sad because most Christians has really never read the Bible. And I'm talking about the ones that has been sitting up in Sunday church for 50 years. 50 plus years. Because if you people knew, or if you people really study the Bible, you would know that you are not supposed to be dealing with a Christmas tree. And the majority of you guys, every year you put a tall Christmas tree up in your house. You do exactly what the Most High told you not to do. Putting presents and ornaments on it, you will know that that was a pagan custom. That is a satanic doctrine. Now join me to the book of Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 1. Join me to the book of Jeremiah chapter 10 the first verse. Join me to the book of Jeremiah chapter 10 the first verse. And the word of the Lord say, hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you. You see that? Hear ye the word which the Lord YAHAWAH speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the sign of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Now watch this. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hand of the workman with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. You see, people, this is in your Bibles. That is the Most High condemning, disowning the Christmas tree. God said that that is a heathenistic custom. That's what he was saying. Now let's go a little deeper into the history of the Christmas tree, and let's find out why the Most High does not want us to be messing with some tree and sticking that Christmas tree up in our house. Join me to the book of the Two Babylons, page 89. Join me to the book of the Two Babylons, page 89. And it says, the Christmas tree, now so common among us, was equally common in pagan Rome and pagan Egypt. In Egypt, that tree was the palm tree. And in Rome, it was the fir. The fir referring to him as Baal Berith, the mother of Adonis, the sun god and great mediatorial divinity, was mystically said to have been changed into a tree. Okay, so early Rome denoted the palm tree as Baal Tamar and the fir tree as Baal Berith, which when you understand anything about religious origin, you will know that these are all the same gods. They stem from the same gods. Back in ancient Babylon, the worship of Nimrod reincarnated after he died when he was deified by his mother Semiramis. He became known as Baal. Then he became known as Baal-zebub, which is Beelzebub. And when you read the Bible, that is the highest ranking demon in the demonic forces. Now join me to the book of Luke 11 and 15. Join me to the book of Luke 11 and 15. And the word of the Lord say, but some of them said, he casteth out devils through Beelzebub, the chief of the devils. He is the head chief demon of all the legions underneath him. So whenever you have this tree in your house, the Christmas tree, you're dealing with a high level of satanic worship. Whether you know it or not, you're dealing directly with Satan himself by participating in that satanic ritual that you do yearly. You're conjuring up evil spirits right there. That Christmas tree is the direct portal to Satan himself, the Beelzebub. The Christmas tree, as has been stated, was generally at Rome a different tree, even the fir, but the very same idea as was implied in the palm tree was implied in the Christmas fir, for that covertly symbolized the newborn God as Baal Berith, Lord of the covenant, and thus shadowed forth the perpetuity and everlasting nature of his power. Not that after having fallen before his enemies, he had risen triumphant over them all. Therefore, the 25th of December, the day that was observed at Rome as the day when the victorious God reappeared on earth, was held at the Natalis Invictus Solis, the birthday of the unconquered sun. Now the Yule log is the dead stock of Nimrod, deified as the sun god, but cut down by his enemies. The Christmas tree is Nimrod redivivis, the slain god come to life again. So people, this is saying that the Yule log is a representation of Nimrod being chopped down, his death, and you put the Yule logs into the fire. Most people don't do that part of the ritual because most of you don't have a fireplace to put it in. Then after that Yule log gets burnt, then on Christmas Day represents the reincarnation of Nimrod, which is the tree, the Christmas tree with the presents underneath it. Because the legend has it that after Nimrod was reincarnated, he'll come in the nighttime and leave presents underneath the tree. So it's a whole ritual that is being done, and you don't have any idea why you are doing it. You're getting socially programmed to partake in this demonic custom, and you have no idea at all why you are doing it. So the hypnosis starts right after the end of November, and you get bombarded with all type of Christmas carols and Christmas movies and lights, different colors, and it's very obvious that Christmas has nothing to do with the birth of Christ, because every store you go to Walmart, Walgreens, all you're going to hear is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. What in the world does that has to do with the birth of Christ? You're going to hear Santa Claus is coming to town. What does that has to do with the birth of Christ? And then on top of that, they mix in a small portion of religious beliefs just to mask it over and to cause confusion and to make some people believe, well, you know what? Maybe it does have something to do with Christ. When all that is a delusion and a disguise to build you up to complete this ritual at the end of the month. So they start all the way from November with the hypnosis to have you like a walking zombie. They're planting it in your mind and sending vibrations and signals into your brain and getting you prepared to get you to participate in this ritual. And the thing is, everybody be getting all hyped up and ramped up to do this. And you have some people that has came back at me after I showed them this same information that I showed you all today, and they'll tell me, well, God knows my heart. That is another delusion. God knows my heart. I can do this. I can still go out here and celebrate Christmas and partake in this satanic ritual, and God is okay with it. That's right, God is okay with it. He knows my heart. Well, join me to the book of Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9. Join me to the book of Jeremiah chapter 17, the 9th verse. And the word of the Lord say, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? You see that? You say God knows your heart. He said that he can't know it because it is wicked and deceitful above all things. Meaning you are deceiving yourself. Walking around talking about some God knows my heart. You are deceiving yourself, thinking that you can just put up Christmas trees when the Lord God clearly stated in the book of Jeremiah 10:2, learn not the ways of the heathen. Jeremiah started off with, thus saith the Lord. So this is a commandment from the Most High, to learn not the way of the heathen. So now you're saying that God is going to contradict himself, and he's going to tell you that it is okay to celebrate Christmas, to put up Christmas trees, when he told you to learn out the way of the heathen, when that is clearly a heathenistic custom, historically and biblically. And then you have Christians talking about they're going to put the Christ back in Christmas. Again, you are deceiving your own hearts. You are deceiving yourselves. How you going to put the Christ back in Christmas when Christ was never in Christmas? That's another delusion. Having people thinking that they're doing something right. Trying to have people rationalizing in their mind for the reason that they are about to go do this ritual. Well, maybe I could just say it's the worship of Christ. Nope, it's not the worship of Christ. Not even close. It has nothing to do with Christ, and it is self-evident. You look on the TV, you're going to see Satan Claus. You're going to see Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You're going to see a snowman. What does any of that has to do with Christ? Like it was mentioned before, Constantine mixed paganism in with Christianity. And eventually, paganism overtook the whole doctrine of Christianity. It flooded the Christian doctrine. There was no more remains of the actual origins of the Christian doctrine. That's essentially what happened. And now you're left doing satanic worship. That's how clever Satan is. He done slid his way all the way up through Christianity, and nobody would never take the time to look. Everybody's looking for Satan somewhere else. Well, maybe Satan's over here, while Satan got his whole face and hands right in Christianity. He has everybody deceived. Join me to the book of Revelation chapter 12 verse 9. Join me to the book of Revelation chapter 12 verse 9. And the word of the Lord say, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. You see that? He's operating right there in Christianity. Everybody deceived. Satan has you celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, Valentine's Day, all Babylonian customs, satanic worship, rituals on a high demonic level. Now, with all of that being said in this video, most people are still going to go and partake in that ritual. With everything being said, some people are even going to get mad, and they're going to try to rationalize it and make an excuse. And they're going to say, oh, well, I'm just going to do it because of a family. No, that's not why you're not doing it. You're doing it because they have been tampering with the brain waves, and they make you think that you have to do this wicked ritual, or people are going to look at you like you crazy. They start softening you up with Christmas carols. Everybody start acting funny around the Christmas time. All of a sudden, everybody in this giving mood and all nice and want to give hugs and kisses. Why? Because they're socially and they're psychologically programming you to act that way. Oh, give. They're preparing you slowly to get ready to partake in this ritual that you will do tomorrow on December the 25th. You're going to sit down with your whole family and open up presents, and you're going to be doing it in the name of Satan disguised as the worship or birth of Christ, when it has nothing to do with that at all. Everybody getting all nice and friendly for the holiday season. What about the rest of the months? Why nobody's friendly then? Because Christmas is on a high demonic level, and the elite know that, and they have you partaking in it. Like I said, most people are still going to go do it, and that's fine. If you want to go and celebrate Christmas and worship Satan directly on a high level, I have no problem with it. That is your prerogative. Brother Kwame doesn't have a problem with it, but the Most High God, he has a problem with it, because you can live it up however much as you want, have as much fun, crack open as many gifts as you want, decorate as many trees, put as many stars on the top of the trees, kiss as many people under a mistletoe all you want. You can do that for your whole life. That doesn't have anything to do with Brother Kwame. But once you enter into the grave and your spirit goes back to the Most High, you have to stand and face him yourself. And I'm going to tell you right now, you don't want to face him and you have been celebrating and worshiping Satan. Join me to the book of Hebrews chapter 10 verse 31. Join me to the book of Hebrews chapter 10 verse 31. And the word of the Lord say, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. Do you want to know why it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God? Because you are going to have to answer for it. You're going to have to answer for everything you have done here on this earth. See, Brother Kwame is not going to have to answer for your actions. I'm just a messenger. I have to answer for myself. That is the brilliant thing about this. Now join me to the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 10. Join me to the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 10. And the word of the Lord say, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to he hath done, whether it be good or bad. So with that being said, if you're going to continue to keep worshiping and celebrating Christmas, so be it. But to those of you that has an ear, let them hear, and you'll come out of that, and you will not be a partaker of that satanic ritual anymore. So with that being said, now you know exactly what the origin of Christmas is, and you understand these rituals that you are participating in, and you also know how Satan infiltrated Christianity with Christmas. It's time to make a choice, my brothers and sisters. I'm back. Shalawam.